Hi guys, in this video we're gonna talk about what happens to stocks when Federal Reserve in the US decides to hike interest rates. In this graph we can see different periods when Federal Reserve started and ended hiking interest rates, and this is their effect on S&P 500. So you can see that except one period dating back to 1954, only one period was negative for the stocks, and most likely it was affected by something else. In the last period, when Federal Reserve decided to hike interest rates, S&P 500 actually raised 8%. This is an average annualized rate during last 12 rate hikes based on data provided by Reuters. Based on data, we can actually conclude that rate hikes don't usually affect stocks that much. Right now, the economy is in a very unusual situation. The inflation has risen tremendously. It's about almost 8% right now. There's a Russian-Ukraine war conflict going on. Only time will tell what actually happens to stocks. NASDAQ is also almost at their all-time highs, even though we have seen some sell-off starting from 2022. NASDAQ has fallen already almost 20% in the first 3 months of 2022. In this video I wanted to analyze what usually happens to NASDAQ and stocks in general and S&P 500 the next day after Federal Reserve hikes interest rates. Federal Reserve Jeremy Powell will actually raise interest rates today by 0.25 basis points. This was almost the same in 2018. In 2018 we saw 4 rate hikes. We will see probably a very similar situation in 2022, and every time they only hiked by 0.25%. Based on my simple analysis, stocks, NASDAQ, which we will take a look at afterwards, usually drop the next day after Federal Reserve hikes rates. On the other hand, there is usually not a very long-term effect. This effect only lasts for a few days, and actually based on data and based on the graph, we can see that when Federal Reserve hikes interest rates, there is a reversal in the stock market, and then they just keep climbing. Last time, as I already said, in 2018 we saw a very similar situation except for the Russian and Ukraine war conflict. So we will start with the first rate hike in 2018 on March the 22nd. So we can see that on March 22nd, when the Federal Reserve hiked interest rates, which is a very similar situation today, only dated 4 years after. The stocks dropped by quite a lot the next day, NASDAQ 100 index. But on the other hand, within like a week or two, they found the bottom and then just pretty much kept going higher and higher. We can also see that the next day the stocks dropped almost 3%, which is quite a lot for NASDAQ. And within a week they found the lows around minus 5%. The second rate hike in 2018 occurred on June 14th, so we can see that within next 3 trading days the stocks also dropped by a few percent, and within a week they also found a bottom, as we can see over here. It's very important to also take a look at RSI levels. So as we can see, at this time the stocks were quite overbought and the RSI was around 70. This indicates that the stocks are overbought and probably we might see some consolidation very soon. On the other hand, when the RSI dropped and the stocks dropped as well, then they pretty much found the bottom and they just kept going higher. Also within the next few months we can see that they were just rising. Third rate hike in 2018 happened on 27th of September, and again the same situation, not exactly the same because the next day stocks just kept, the NASDAQ 100 kept going higher, but it also dropped within a few weeks and also months, so it kept dropping for the next 2 months. But this was most likely affected also by something else, and stocks, as we can see, were quite overbought and then they dropped. But on the other hand, the long-term effect is not that serious. Last rate hike of 2018 happened on December 20th, and stocks also dropped the next day. But within 2 trading days they bottomed out and kept going higher, and as we can see, the RSI level was also around 30, which indicates the bottom for the stocks. Today we are in a very similar situation. On the other hand, we can see that the stocks were going lower for quite some time. Hopefully they found the bottom. RSI is not around 30 level, which would definitely indicate the bottom, but hopefully we'll see more gains in the stock market very soon. Hopefully the rate hikes will not affect the economy and will slow the inflation soon. I personally think that the stocks have found their bottom and we'll see some more gains in 2022, because right now the NASDAQ for 2022 is actually down by almost 20%, or like the lowest level was 21 or even more percent. So hopefully we'll see more and more gains soon for the NASDAQ 100. Thank you for watching, guys, and good luck in the stock market. Make sure to make the right choices when trading. Make sure to subscribe and see you in the next video.